Hello everybody, welcome back to Keep It Real. Now this is episode 22. I did actually check just before I started recording, so I did guess right in the last episode as well, which is amazing. Now, I will confess I've recorded this directly from the last episode, so I know I've just mentioned it, but in the last episode I said give me loads of comments because I do like it and genuinely. But if you have commented and you don't see anything different in this episode, it's because I've already recorded it. I'm not ignoring you. I'm sure I would have replied to you anyway. Now, today, the usual things. We're going to head back to the yard. Oh, fuel lights just come on again. Brilliant. Back to the yard and just check in on the animals. I'm curious to see how much milk the cows have produced. And I'm also now hoping that the whole egg situation, now that we put loads of females in and got rid of those males, would have fixed itself. I know it's going to because I've tested it in advance, but hopefully the figures you see now when I go into the animal pen information will match the actual eggs that have spawned outside. I hope so, and hopefully it's one of 5. Let's just have a little look. But yeah, the main objective for this episode, now you know what? I'm late paying my rent. Let's just jump into here and pay the rent. I really need to change the screenshot key from F12 because every time I press F12 to open this menu up, I take a screenshot. I must have hundreds and hundreds of screenshots. Yeah, I need to change that key. That's annoying. That noise is annoying as well. Anyway, right, cool. So, good start. 21 pieces. Which is definitely better. Now, I have to press pause and get to this menu anyway. Here we go. So, yeah. So, in the eggs section, in the conditions bit, it's actually now showing 21 pieces. So, that's amazing. That is really good. They are running a bit low on food. Grain. I overloaded it with corn. We need that corn to slowly die down. But we need to keep an eye on the grain. Is the corn still reducing, by the way? Was it 835 last episode? I might have to watch some of my own videos actually, unless it's fresh in your minds. Was that 835 before? Is the grain at 100% overriding the corn? Will the corn never go down? Don't know. I guess the only way to resolve that is to put the equal amount of lettuce in, I suppose, and then no grain. We might have to do that. But in the meantime, we don't have the spare money to be worrying about silly little things like that. Just need to make money right now. So now that I've paid the rent, £918. So we could have got away without selling the milk, but it was pretty much at the price, at its best price anyway, so there's no harm. These two little beauties have already produced 287 litres in one night. I'm pretty certain they are definitely both producing milk, even though one of them's younger. That is amazing. That is amazing. It's just unfortunate that we're not benefiting from the slurry or the manure, I suppose. But it is what it is. I think eventually we'll definitely expand this. If there's that much money in cows on this map, we'll probably change that. We'll buy a new plot of land, make it bigger. Right. Did the apples? Oh yes, they did. The apples have also spawned. This is exciting. I've not seen what they look like. Brilliant. And they're also pick-upable. Now, obviously I've not got super strength or anything on. This going right back to my Somerset Survival series, one of my first ever series. Realistically, if I didn't have a front loader and I needed to load this up, then I would actually just load it up a crate at a time, as would anyone. So on that basis, I don't think there is any harm in loading this up. So we could sell those. I don't feel we need to sell them right now, but we could sell them. I mean, we are in June. We want to sell them in June at some point. Within the next 3 episodes, we need to sell them because they're pretty much going down in terms of price from today onwards. So what I want to do now, we've just checked in, we've done some basics, everything's good. I kind of thought it would be. Do need to get a bit of fuel, but the priority is, let's go to the pub. That's what your priority should be every day, isn't it? Surely at 9:42. Let's go to the pub. No, we need to see if the contract situations have changed. So I don't think the bail situation would have saved itself. And again, because I'm recording this straight after the last episode, I haven't sent the save over to Tim. And once again, I do appreciate you offering to try and have a look, see if you can fix it. Worst case scenario though, we'll just never be able to sell bales. To be honest, my goal is to be self-sufficient, so really we shouldn't need to be in a position where we're relying on selling bales. Just makes the contracts a bit tricky. So I'm hoping, obviously, the easy one is fertilising. I'm hoping there's a fertilising contract in there. There was that weeding contract in there last time, I don't know if that is still there, but given how much they deduct you charging for the equipment, you get like 300 quid. It just really isn't worth the time. We'd be better off just selling a bit more milk, to be honest. Right, leave that there. Let's just roleplay it and jump into the pub. Okay, right, here we are. Loads and loads of baling contracts. Always baling contracts. Always baling contracts. Oh, okay, but a bit of variation this time. That's what I like to see. So, barley in field 2, barley in 72, barley in 79. Okay. Or ploughing. It's quite modern equipment. Don't think we've worked for that guy before. And ploughing is, I know it's hard work. That's desperate. Obviously, if we only had ploughing and no harvesting, we'd probably have to do it because baling's a no-go. But these are interesting. Now, actually, the one that pays the most seems to have the most kind of realistic equipment. Because that looks like some high-spec equipment you get with that one. Yeah, that combine is huge. Whereas the bigger job, but has the lesser equipment, seems an interesting one. They're all barley. Was it field 72 I did last time? I might have done, so let's go for something different. I think that is acceptable, you know. And there's not much of a charge. Right, let me just very quickly, off camera, set that so they should all now spawn where we need it to spawn. So borrow the items, press Y. Lovely, it is ready to go. Ideal. Right, now field 79 is miles away. In fact, it is the absolute furthest field pretty much on the map. This is the reason why selling the pickup truck to get a tractor isn't really ideal, because if we had to drive the Fiat Agri down here, that would be a real nightmare. Yeah, we got a bit of a drive now. Don't even know which way's best. We might as well carry on this road here, follow it right the way around until we get to here. There's all the equipment there loaded up, ready to go. And that, I mean, it looks a big field. We'll find out when we get there, won't we? Hopefully, we've got enough fuel. I'm pretty sure we have. This could be the first time we need to use a recovery service if we run out of fuel. That wouldn't be very good at all. Alright, so while we're doing a nice little drive, I hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's keeping alright. If you have commented on the last episode, thank you very much, I appreciate it. I don't know if you have at this point, because I'm already recording it, but I figured, you know, I'd get 2 of this out the way, because like I mentioned before, these are the sort of quick, easy episodes for me to record and edit, and then it just gives me a bit of time really to get the rest of the roleplay story done. So I've not actually even started recording episode 3, but as always, I know where it's got to start and I know where it's got to finish, and the little bit in between just kind of flows. It will come to me, I'm sure. So I've just got to get it all recorded. But you know, on average, I reckon by the time you edit out, because you have to edit out so much more when you're doing like that series where everything is trying to be as realistic as possible. I reckon I can do a good hour and a half of recording to produce a 30-minute episode. So I just need to put a little bit more time aside really to actually record it. It does take a little bit of effort, and also just need a nice empty house when I start talking to myself in different accents, which is essentially what I'm doing. I'm literally sat in front of a screen talking to myself in different accents. It's quite bizarre. I think if my neighbours could hear me, they'd think I was a bit strange. But yeah, I need an empty house really. You can just put a bit more into it, I think, when you have an empty house when no one's listening. Why is this guy stopping? What are you doing? Come on. You know, I'm pretty sure that this little yellow 2CV looking thing is what causes Daggerman all the issues in his series as well. Pain in the butt. Now where am I going? It looks like the equipment is kind of here somewhere, so I've never driven here, I've never been here. I just set the spawning point here just on the construction view. Oh, here we go. Alright, so this must be it. Jump back to this view. Let's try and park somewhere, I say off the main road. It's not really a main road, is it? Oh, that field's got a little bit of leakage as well. Right, better not leave that running. Well, that field lit in the top corner has got to 99,000. I said a couple episodes ago that field's actually going for more than what it's worth. It's not. This figure that shows you at the bottom there, value 99,000, that's the bid price. So if you go to field number, I mean, what size is that one? Let's find one that's a similar size. Is there one a similar size? Maybe 77, so that's similar size, isn't it? Actually, that field is 226,000. So that is an absolute steal. That is a bargain. So we do need to keep an eye on this farmyard auction. Something like one of these fields, if they come up in auction, they could actually be, you know, as cheap as the piece of land we bought. That would be really cool. I'm still looking at this one, by the way. 26,000. It's full of trees. We'll sell a few trees. We'll kind of plough our own field into there, and that would be our kind of main field. Therefore, turning this field into a nice looking 2 or 3 tiered farmyard. I think that's going to look pretty cool. Right, anyway, these spawned absolutely awful, like in the way of everything. So we're just gonna have to do a little bit of manoeuvring here because it is a bit of a mess, but that's fine. Let's just connect that trailer up ready. We might as well connect up the hoses. Doesn't have any PTO. Alright, we'll get that connected up ready. We'll try and spin that around without ripping someone's hedge down. Try and park this as close to the hedge as possible, out of the way. That works quite well. And I'm assuming this is the field in front of us, is it? It certainly is. That's a big field. That is a big field. I'll tell you what though, unintentionally, we're going to end up with loads of barley left, aren't we? Some grain. We'll have to do the same as last time. We won't sell it. We'll keep it. That'll keep the ducks going for ages. And actually, this isn't a bad harvester. I underestimated what kind of harvester it was, I think, by looking at it from the contrast screen. But this is a pretty good harvester. The header isn't too bad. It is a bit better than last time. So although the job looks bigger, the equipment makes up for it. Right, so this does connect in that view, but it doesn't connect things like the PTO. There we go. Let's try and get around here. Oh, is it even going to fit between those two lampposts? I don't know. Okay, yeah, unfold it, it's telling me off. So this will probably be a bit of a time-lapse jobby. I'm not going to cinematic this one, only because I've just done so much of it in story mode, and it is quite a bit easier just to do a time-lapse. That's definitely the easier option. Stick a bit of music on, a little bit of speed up. Ideal. this field is yielding well, really, really well. In fact, it's incredible. I've not really done that many passes. You know, I've done the back a little bit, just give me some turning space, and I've gone up and down basically, I don't know, 2.5 times. It's full. It's a 10,000 litre grain tank as well. It ain't a little one. We might end up with quite a lot left over. This would be absolutely ideal. Definitely. Now, I don't know what the capacity is for this trailer. I want to say, just purely from memory, it's 12,000-ish. It does look like it's got the extension on it. So we'll just see how full this is, I guess. In fact, I can shut this off and get out and just leave that there. Get myself a cheeky little screenshot as well, I reckon, while I'm here. Lovely, that's unloaded. Right, jump in. What's the capacity? Oh, wow. This trailer holds loads. Okay, good. Well, we can fill up the grain tank again. I didn't realise this trailer held that much, if I'm honest. Loads of room in it. Right, let's keep going. This field, this is really yielding really well. It's so good. I'm pretty sure we're going to have quite a chunk left over actually. I really like about this John Deere is you can see quite well out of the window. I don't really use the John Deere harvesters too much. Let's try and get a bit closer. But I do quite like the detail of this one. This is cool, isn't it? This first person view is pretty damn cool. So I am going to now head down to wherever the sell point is. I'm just really hoping it doesn't have this bloody glitch again where I can't sell it, but I'm sure it does. I've tested it, it should be fine. So I'm going to go and sell it. Now I'm going to leave the harvester rolling on a worker. There was never anything against doing that, by the way, because who in real life would work without some help? Some jobs just need help, right? So I'm going to leave it going. Let's just pretend, I don't know, maybe the farmer's given us a hand, and for every minute he's having to do the work, we're getting deducted, which will be making up for the amount of money it costs us, I guess. So we're just going to set this back on. That's the reason I kind of got rid of that random little curve bit, by the way. We'll leave this going. Let's pull it over a little bit so it doesn't miss too much. That should be good. Yeah, and hopefully it will recognise the end of the field and turn around properly. Right, we're going to head off. This should be, I mean, it won't be 100%. It'll be, I don't know, 90%-ish, 88%. So now that we're in it, what we'll do is once that combine is turned around a little, no, I was going to say I'll fill it to the brim. I'm not going to, This is struggling. You can tell by it tearing up the ground. Yeah, okay, I won't overfill it because we're barely even moving as it is. So let's get onto the main road before we get ourselves wedged inside the field. And then we'll just have a little check in where it actually wants us to sell it. Do you know what? It would be absolutely amazing if it said bakery, but I know it won't. So we are just going to have to jump back to the contract screen. It wants us to sell it at the cereals. Okay, I could have found that eventually, but I might as well. That's up near us somewhere, I think. I'm sure it's around here. Maybe. Oh no, it's all the way over there. Great. Couldn't be any bloody further, could it? Wow. Yeah. This is going to take a while. I'll time lapse this as well. This is the problem with turning the trailer field limit off. I can't get up the hill. In all fairness, the farmer I'm working for isn't giving us the right equipment for the job, is he? He needs to invest in a better tractor. Cheapskate. Right, we're going. We got there. Let's keep going. Now we have got a little bit of a problem, and that is it's just started raining and we have left the farmer harvesting, and he is now currently harvesting whilst losing yield. But I can't jump to him. I can't turn the harvester off because that's not how it works on this series. I've either got to stop, turn around and drive back and get him to stop, or I'm just going to have to keep going. Now, I don't think it would have taken him too long to fill up the harvester's tank anyway, but as it stands, we're losing money because we're paying him, well, he's deducting our wages to do the work for us because we're not doing it, but also we're losing that crop which we would have gained come the end of it. So yeah, this I guess this is one of the hardships that comes with trying to do a series of it like this. Are AI smart enough? Would they be smart enough to stop as soon as you start losing yield through rain? Don't think so. I think they carry on going. So a bit of a nightmare. I would say I need to do this a bit faster, but I can't. I just about broke 33 miles per hour a minute ago, but what I have noticed is if I don't slow down and take these corners kind of realistically, I end up on two wheels, and I've just about rescued it once, but it is a bit of a risk and I can't keep doing that. So when I build up the speed like now, I have to stop because it will roll, and that won't be good. That will not be good at all. I can't reset the tractor, I lose the grain. I'd have to get a different vehicle to try and upside the tractor. I've only got £600. I'd have to walk to the shop. Oh, this would be an absolute disaster. So I've got to be real careful. I'm going to have to do this so carefully now, which I am. Hopefully. I'll embarrass myself if I rolled this over. You'd all be laughing at me. Okay, we're nearly here anyway. Got a bit of momentum off that little bit of a hill. So yeah, I managed to get up that not too bad. Now, have I been to this sell point before? I think this is where I went last time actually. Did I? Yeah, I think this was the first contract we did. The first harvesting contract. So we want to head into here. And hopefully they'll let us in. It's a bit silly putting that right there, isn't it? How am I meant to see the mirror? That is a bad design. Right, I think I'm clear though. And if I remember, it's cell around the back. I'm sure I've been here before. I think. Not too fast. I can feel it twitching. Now which one was it? Right, I am just going to have to, on this occasion, tag the correct one. Good. I don't know why. Naturally, I probably would have gone to the other side as well. I don't know why. Maybe it's the same. Right. Hopefully. It doesn't take too long to unload. I need to get back to that field. I'm also concerned it's going to hit the roof. I think that is going to hit the roof, you know. I'm going to have to take this real slow. Maybe go back a bit. Is that going to clear the... yeah. Okay. That is close, you know. That's really close to the roof. Right, let's go. Okay, we are nearly here, and the money has stopped going down, which is good, finally. £458 left though, it's all we've got. Now, I can't remember, I think I might put the AI on more expensive as well. You can do that with the helper administrator. Because I wanted it to be realistic, so we've just paid this guy 200 quid, I reckon. Now, it's raining, which means the field is going to be muddy, which means it could well get stuck. In fact, let's have a look at it. It's definitely starting to get stuck. I hope the farmer doesn't want us to clean his equipment. Is the engine okay? The engine's still running, but the worker's not in there. Good. Just leave it running. We'll empty this, and then I don't know. We'll have to check the weather. I don't want to carry on harvesting because it's going to be costing us yield, which is not our yield, but it's basically costing us our little bonus. And I don't really want to be doing that. Let's switch the lights off of this. It is getting later on in the day anyway, isn't it? Yeah, and this field is very squelchy. Maybe just maybe, call it a day for today. I think so. Okay. Yeah. It's a full-on thunderstorm. So what's the weather like? Should have pre-checked this before I accepted the contract. The rain is going to stop shortly, which is good. But I don't know. It is going to start getting later. I don't feel like we're going to get this finished today anyway. So I think this will be a job for day 2. Now, anything less than what we got will be a problem because we have got some leasing to pay. Not ideal. Right, let's get out the rain, head back to the pickup truck. We're just going to have to make a drive back home, I think. And sleep for the next episode, I suppose. Now, It's funny because I've been recording this quite a while, but you just don't know how long the episode's going to be until you do the time lapsing. So I'm just going to try and calculate roughly. Oh, that hurt my ankle. See whether or not this is kind of adequate for me. Is this a long enough episode? Give me 2 seconds. Don't know. I think this might be a slightly shorter episode, so we're going to head back during this episode and find a couple more things to do. Stop over at the shop. Maybe, just maybe, I might buy some bags of grain and actually sell this grain. Kind of doesn't make sense, but it does. Reason being is I can store bags of grain much easier. Don't really have the space to store loose grain anymore because we've got that much equipment, and potentially it would mean investing in another shed just to store the grain. Not sure if I want to do that right at this moment. So yeah, I think the safest option is we'll sell it, we'll take the bonus, get some extra money, buy some grain and keep it in bags. Right, okay, we're here, didn't take too long. This seems to be my own personal parking space here now. They always seem to leave it empty for me. I appreciate that. Well, what do? We can't really feed the animals when it's raining. I can't feed the hay when it's raining to the cows because it will just get wet. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'll call it time now for this episode. I think it's been a good episode, to be honest. I'll try not to time-lapse too much of it when I actually get down to editing, just so it is a kind of decent length still, but not bad. Progression is good today. We've ended with a very, very small amount of money, £458, but we have got nearly £4,000 coming from the contract. Maybe if we're lucky we'll make another 500 quid on top of that with the grain, and we've paid all our bills now for the next 3 episodes. Well, this episode and the next 2, I should say. So we're in a better position now. We are in a good position. And I tell you what, the rate that they're producing milk, we're going to have a lot more milk soon as well. Maybe I should invest in a 3rd. Like I keep saying, they're herding animals. Even 2 is probably not ideal for a cow. Maybe that's our next challenge. But anyway, good episode, I think. It's not been too bad. So until I see you the next time, cheers and gone.